Hello, and welcome to another episode of Soul Talk Radio. So, today I wanted to talk about overcoming burnout from mental and emotional exhaustion. This week, this topic came to me because this week was a pretty hard week at work. I know I've talked to you guys about this before. I still work in legal, still work full-time in legal, and that job can be very stressful at times. So I think it was Friday, a little bit Thursday and into Friday, I had a little bit of a breakdown, couldn't stop crying. And that happens, right? Like we hit a wall sometimes and we come up against so much stress or so much overwhelm that we become burnt out. So after it happened to me, I started researching all of these different ways to help myself through that mental and emotional burnout. And some of the stuff that I came across was so interesting and so informative, and so I wanted to share it with you guys. One of the main things that I learned was when we're experiencing emotional and mental burnout, we need to practice different types of self-care techniques than if we had experienced physical burnout, for example. Like when we experience physical burnout, let's say you're, working a really physical job and you experience burnout, or maybe you're doing a lot of lawn care. I've had moments like that where I'm doing like lawn work all day long and I get inside the house finally and I'm worn out. When we experience physical burnout, a lot of times what we need is a rest, right? We need to rest our body. However, when we're experiencing mental and emotional exhaustion, sometimes just resting our body isn't enough. We need to do other sorts of self-care things that, quite frankly, I didn't even think of when I started researching this. And then I came across something called the self-care wheel, which was so helpful, and I'm going to go into that a little bit later on in this episode. So first of all, I wanted to answer the question, what is mental and emotional burnout? So I found an article on healthline.com that I thought really explained this very well. So I wanted to read some of the stuff that they go into here. So mental versus emotional exhaustion. Generally speaking, mental tends to refer to cognitive skills like thinking, memory, decision making, etc., whereas emotional has to do with feelings, including our ability to identify, process, and express our feelings. You might notice emotional or mental exhaustion when navigating difficult, painful, or unwanted feelings, such as anger, loneliness, or anxiety. Both mental and emotional exhaustion can leave you feeling detached, unmotivated, apathetic, and trapped. The challenges you're facing might seem impossible to overcome, and you might feel too drained to keep trying. So, some of the signs of mental and emotional exhaustion are feelings of depression, including a persistent sad, low, or hopeless mood, lingering feelings of anxiety, difficult caring about anything, a sense of detachment or pessimism, anger or irritability, difficulty processing and managing emotions, a sense of dread, a decline in motivation or productivity, feeling lethargic or slowed down, difficulty concentrating, remembering information, or putting thoughts together. Some physical signs of mental and emotional exhaustion. Again, this isn't physical exhaustion, it's just physical signs that could present when you're experiencing emotional and mental exhaustion. Head and body aches, upset stomach, digestion issues, sleep issues, including just all around drowsiness during the day, insomnia, changes in appetite or weight, frequent illnesses, and a general sense of unwell. Some behavioral signs that could happen when you're experiencing mental and emotional exhaustion. Finding yourself constantly putting off tasks at home or work, noticing a decline in your performance in school or work, possibly looking to substances like alcohol, weed, etc. to help manage your help manage your symptoms. Avoiding people that you normally enjoy spending time with, feeling irritable or distracted around others, and having trouble paying attention during interactions. You may find yourself also calling out of work or school more often. So how do we treat and cope with mental and emotional exhaustion? They say remove the stressor. So if we can, that's not always possible, but consider changing jobs, right? Or you consider asking your coworkers or your boss to help designate some of the tasks and responsibilities that you're currently handling if you're experiencing constant burnout. Taking a break, taking time to rest and recharge. Taking a break might mean clearing your schedule from tasks that really don't matter all that much. Taking an extended vacation if we can. Booking hours of time for yourself each day. Leaving the office at lunch to take your full lunch. I need to listen to that sometimes too. Sometimes I just completely work through lunch because I think, okay, the more I get done, the less I'm going to stress about tomorrow. But it doesn't end up helping us. We have to take the breaks that are designated for us. And it also says setting aside time each evening to simply relax, watch a movie, hang out with our family and friends, etc. One thing that I've started doing in the evening is I will start to take a walk right at sunset to just enjoy the colors of the sunset and also just to be outside and be in nature. Nature is so healing, as many of us know, and that really helps me when I'm experiencing burnout. So some relaxation techniques: yoga, tai chi, massage, aromatherapy, and progressive muscle relaxation. So like if you're doing a body scan, just visualizing each part of the body and then visualizing relaxing that part of the body. Also, when it says massage, I know not all of us can afford massage, but something that I did was I bought a massage gun on Amazon. I think I paid like $34. And it's super helpful, especially my shoulder, from working on the computer, my right hand starts to, or not my right hand, like where your shoulder flares out, it starts to really burn sometimes because I'm just using my arm too much, my right arm. So that massage gun really helps that. And I'll also do it on the top of my shoulders if my shoulders are feeling tense, or on my lower back. And that's really helpful to help me relax. Another thing is trying to get more sleep and trying to get more quality sleep. If you're having trouble falling asleep, one thing that I find really helpful if I'm ever having trouble falling asleep is practicing breath work, especially the 4-7-8 breaths. You inhale for a count of 4, hold the breath at the top of the inhale for a count of 7, and exhale for a count of 8. If you need some sort of guided meditation to walk you through that, I have one. It's on the Insight Timer app. You can access it for free. It's called Stress and Anxiety Buster 2.0. It has the 4-7-8 breath in it, and it's maybe 5 minutes long. And I've had many people tell me they'll listen to that and then end up falling asleep. So hopefully that helps. Another few ideas to help you fall asleep if you're having trouble with that is to take a hot bath before bed. Try some gentle yoga before bed. Swap your phone out for a book or a coloring book or soothing music, and definitely dim the lights, because I know there's been studies that when lights are still on in your environment when you're trying to fall asleep, including the TV and your phone that's in your face, it's not allowing the body to engage melatonin. Right? That's why in the middle of the night when you go to the bathroom, it's often not helpful to turn on like the bathroom light, for example, because it's telling your body, oh, it's time to wake up. So it is very helpful to kind of keep the lights dimmed as you're trying to fall asleep. Also, keeping a gratitude journal. When you're feeling, drained, low, negative, or having distressing thoughts, or just feeling overwhelmed in general, a gratitude journal is so helpful. It helps us to reshift and reframe those often very negative thoughts into recognizing all of the things in our life that we already have to be thankful for. Also, exercise. Regular physical exercise has a positive impact on our mood, energy levels, brain function, and just our overall well-being. So one of the things that I love to do, like I said, is go for walks, especially in the evening, and that really helps me to calm down when I'm experiencing exhaustion, overwhelm, or burnout. Also, this was something that I read about and I just found it so interesting. It kind of blew my mind because I thought, why have I not thought of that before? So it talks about when you're experiencing burnout, to treat yourself like you would a baby. Let me explain. If a baby was crying, what would you do? You would check in. You would make sure all of its basic needs are met. Is it hungry? Is it tired? Does it need a nap? Does it need to be changed? Is it wanting interaction with me? Treating ourselves the same way. Asking ourselves when we're experiencing burnout, when we're experiencing overwhelm, what is it that I need right now? Do I need to rest? Do I need to go outside? Do I need food? Am I hungry? Am I hangry? Do I need water? Do I need a massage? Do I need time away from people? Do I need time away from my family, time away from friends? What do I need? And giving myself that. Always looking at our basic needs. Are our basic needs being fulfilled? And then going down the list of, okay, what else could I possibly need? For example, some of our basic needs are nutrition, eating a balanced diet, drinking water, physical exercise, getting out of the house, getting sunlight, maybe doing yoga, gardening, going for a walk in your neighborhood. And getting social support is also a basic need. So sharing your experiences with loved ones or friends, texting them if you're having a hard time, like that's what friends are for. They're there to be there for you, just like you are for them. And asking for assistance. I also struggle with that. I'm constantly struggling with asking for help, and I'm trying to overcome that. So I also wanted to go over the self-care wheel, like I talked about in the beginning. So I found this thing called the Life Balance Self-Care Wheel. I think if you Google it, it would come up. But I'm also going to post a photo of this on my Instagram this week. So if you wanted to access it there, my Instagram is at Meg, M-E-G _Shirey, S-H-I-R-E-Y. I'll post it probably Tuesday or Wednesday so you can see this. But I wanted to read all of these self-care things that it lists if you're experiencing, like I said, physical, psychological, emotional, spiritual, personal, professional, burnout, and overwhelm. So it's all different types of things that you might need in those situations. So first of all, it lists physical. We'll go over that. So if you're experiencing physical burnout, here are some of the essential needs that you need to make sure are in place. Safe housing, regular medical care, eating healthy, exercising, getting enough sleep, taking vacations and breaks for yourself, taking time off, acupuncture, bubble baths, being in nature, taking a walk, turning off your cell phone, and getting me time. Here are some psychological self-care tips if you're experiencing psychological, mental burnout, mental exhaustion. Self-reflection, therapy, journaling, self-awareness, sensory engagement, aromatherapy, drawing, painting, going to a symphony or ballet, relaxing in the sun, gardening, reading a self-help book, joining a support group, thinking about your positive qualities, practicing asking and receiving help. Next is emotional. Give me just a moment. Since it's on a wheel, like the words are like tilted, so I'm going to see if I can flip it here to make it easier for me to read. Give me 1 second. Okay, emotional. Affirmations, self-love, self-compassion, crying. That's a big one. I just want to stop there and say something. In the beginning of this episode, I explained to you guys how I was feeling on Thursday and Friday. I was having a bad time, just experiencing burnout, and I started crying. And it's like every 30 minutes or so, I felt the tears welling up in me. And like years ago, when I would start to experience emotions like that, I would start to immediately go inward and be like, why am I experiencing this? That's great, but not right when you're experiencing it. Just allow yourself to experience the emotion. Allow yourself to cry, yell, whatever it is, scream into a pillow, whatever you need. Just allow it to be there and exist, and allow yourself to express it. I have what's called, what I lovingly refer to as my crying bolster. I have a, it's like a yoga bolster, you know, that you use to like prop underneath your knees, your back, whatever, when you're practicing yoga. So I'll place it in front of me, at like long ways in front of me, and I'll get into child's position and kind of like hug my bolster, you know, and I'll lay my head down and I'll just cry. I'll keep a box of tissues next to me and I just cry. I'm sitting in child's position, just allowing myself to cry, allowing myself to release those emotions. That is so, so, so important. So back to the emotional chart. Social justice engagement, laughing, saying I love you to yourself, watching a funny movie, finding a hobby, engaging in that hobby, buying yourself a present, cuddling with a pet, telling yourself you are enough, and practicing forgiveness. So the next one is spiritual self-care, self-reflection, going into nature, finding a spiritual community. By the way, I know that a lot of people struggle with that. A great place that has helped me to find, you know, people in my tribe has been Meetup, you know, the app Meetup. So finding like hobbies that you're interested in, if you're interested in reading, finding book clubs in your area. They also have virtual book clubs, you know, all of the things that you're interested in, all of the hobbies that you're interested in. You can most likely find a group of people that are also interested in those same things online. And so many of them are virtual now, which is great. So if it's, you know, you live across the country, you can still join that virtual group. back to our self-care list here. So spiritual, meditating, singing, dancing, playing, allowing ourselves to play and be silly. So important. Practicing yoga, playing with your children, bathing in the ocean, watching the sunset, finding a spiritual mentor, volunteering for a cause, and fostering self-forgiveness. And then we have personal self-care, learning who you are, figuring out what you want in life, planning short and long-term goals. We went over that in the last episode, habits and goals, making a vision board, fostering friendships, going on dates, getting coffee with a friend, just relaxing, writing a poem or a book, spending time with your family, cooking out, and or learning to play an instrument. And then the last one we have here is professional. Professional self-care, taking time for your lunch. Hello, taking your regular breaks, setting boundaries at work, learning to say no. Do not working overtime. Work your scheduled hours. I know it might sound horrible to some people. They don't deserve your extra time. They don't. I'm sorry. You deserve your extra time. Work the hours that you're allotted. Log out and go home. Like, disconnect from whatever you're doing and focus on what you need. Like, once you log out from work, try not to think about that anymore. You're not on work time anymore. Your brain doesn't have to be still focused on that. Wait until the next morning, the next time you're logged in, and then focus on it again. So this is the next one here. Leave work at work. Yes, what I just said. Do not work during your time off. Also, yes. If you work for somebody who tries to make it where, emails are coming to your phone or phone calls are coming to your phone all the time, that's not okay. You need to set some sort of boundary that I'm only going to answer work emails, work calls, etc. during work hours. Getting regular supervision, getting support from colleagues, taking mental health days. Yes, learning to say no. Said that. Planning your next career move if needed. Taking a class and taking all of your vacation, PTO, and sick days. Absolutely. So again, that was from, it's called the Life Balance Self-Care Wheel. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. All of us experience overwhelm. All of us experience burnout eventually. And we just need to allow ourselves to, first of all, feel the emotions that come with that and just allow them to be there without judgment. Right? And then ask yourself, what is it that I need in this moment? First of all, what type of burnout am I experiencing it? Is it emotional? Is it mental? Is it physical? And then possibly looking at this self-care wheel and what on that list can I do for myself right now to make myself feel better, right? So trying those things, and I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I loved sharing this with you today. I found this topic super interesting. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoy these episodes, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any sessions with me or in my work, please visit my website. It's meganshirey.com. And may you be happy, may you be well, may you be joyous and at ease, sending you infinite love and light, and may you have a beautiful upcoming week. And until next time.